and we have our first race prediction of the 2025 season.
At Australia?
Australia.
GP 2025 predictions. We will go poll. We'll do the top 10.
Yep.
Then we'll have our, well, as we call it, the Gearbox Gob-smacking prediction. So that is just like another fact of the race that we think might happen. So we shall start with, who do you think is going to be on pole position?
Pole position, Lando Norris is going to take the first pole position of this season.
Ooh, okay. McLaren's gonna start the season strong.
Start strong-ish. You'll see what I mean when we get to the prediction. Also,
yeah. Lando Norris pole for you.
Yeah, who have you got?
I've also gone for Lando Norris. So pole position, Lando Norris. I think McLaren will be very strong at Australia. They've shown it in practice. I don't want to say it will be a walk in the park. I just think they will start the season strong. So yeah, Lando Norris will be on pole position for the Australian Grand Prix.
Lovely jubbly. And we'll stick with you. Who have you got P10? Who is getting a point?
Ooh, okay, so we go from P10 to P1.
Yeah,
so
we'll work our way up.
My P10 is Alexander Albon. I think Alexander Albon is going to sneak into P10 here. I think a lot of teams, I think the Williams, the Alpine, you could argue the Racing Bulls as well. Haas potentially could be up there as well. And I think out of sort of the Williams, Alpine, the Racing Bulls, I think Albon will pit everyone else to P10. So Alexander Albon is my P10.
I've gone down a similar route.
Ooh.
I haven't gone for Albon though. I've gone for Carlos Sainz. I've gone for the other Williams driver. If we were doing a full grid, if we're doing a full 20, I feel like Albon is going to be like 12.
Yep.
I think he's going to be just outside the points. Yeah. Sainz managed to sneak the Williams in there though. I think it's going to be this race that he definitely wants to prove himself. Obviously, he won it last year.
Yeah.
Not only is it the first race with the new team, so he wants to prove himself, it's the race he won last season, so he's going to want to double prove himself, sort of. So, yeah, I've gone for Sainz in P10.
My P9 will be Pierre Gasly, will be P9.
Ooh, okay.
I think both Alpine and Williams will be in the points. I generally think after last season having a very good last few races for Alpine, I think Pierre Gasly will carry on his confidence into the 2025 season, and I think a solid P9 will be grand for Pierre Gasly.
My P9, I don't think they're going to be necessarily a back marker, but they are going to be the bottom end of mid-table.
Okay.
So for my P9, I've gone for Fernando Alonso. He's exceptional around Australia.
Yeah.
He is like pretty good around Australia, so I think he's going to get P9.
P9. Okay.
The first race of a season is always the hardest to predict.
It is true.
Because you don't know what the cars are going to be like. You've seen it in testing, but you've still got 3 weeks between testing and the race, which is plenty of time to change that car. Yeah. So who knows? So I've got Alonso P9 for Australia.
Okay. P8 is the Red Bull driver of Liam Lawson.
Oh.
I've gone for Liam Lawson in P8. Nothing against Liam at all. I think the Red Bull will be decent here. My top 7 drivers, Liam probably is gonna. I don't want to say he will be fighting the midfield. I don't think he will be another Alex Albon or Pierre Gasly in the 2019 season or 2020 season. I just see him struggling to match the pace of the Max Verstappens or the Charles Leclercs and Lando Norris's. But I think for his first race for Red Bull, a P8 is a decent start to the season.
Absolutely. And I agree with everything you said. Yep. Including where you've put him.
Oh.
I've got Liam Lawson P8.
Liam Lawson.
Just literally everything you said. He's got the talent, he's got the car, but he doesn't quite have the talent for or the pace, I should say.
Yeah.
To be near his teammate, be near the McLarens, be near the Ferraris.
Yeah, I mean, I think coming into Red Bull, there's going to be a lot of pressure on him, and I feel like either two things will happen: he will not perform at all, or he will perform and shut down the pressure that he has of being the teammate to Max Verstappen. Putting in P8, I don't think that's the case. He cracked under pressure. I genuinely think that's a decent job.
No matter what car you in, getting in the points in your rookie race is impressive.
P7, I've gone for Carlos Sainz.
Oh, fair. Very comfortably in the points with the Williams.
In the Williams, I
double points for Williams Racing.
I'm gonna. This season, I'm fully behind Williams. I'm gonna back Williams.
I'm gonna back Williams as much as I can.
I think that Williams are gonna have a cracking race in Australia. Alex Albon, I think, has pushed like a lower down table Williams into the points in Australia, and I think they get that car right. Both drivers are gonna need the points.
Yep.
Both are very good drivers. Carlos Sainz, Alex Albon. I think Carlos Sainz, knowing his experience, will just be ahead of Liam Lawson in P7.
Yeah. My P7. Now this is quite a bold prediction.
Yeah.
In fact, this is very bold.
Oh.
I have gone for Esteban Ocon in P7. There's going to be a Haas. There's going to be a Haas masterclass. Esteban Ocon is going to gel with this Haas so well.
Wow.
And he's going to have a really fluent race. He's going to have decent qualifying.
Yeah.
He's going to qualify like P11.
Yeah.
The Haas are going to master his strategy.
Yep.
He's going to have a decent amount of pace, and he's going to bring it up into P7.
Wow. Okay, that is a shocker.
Yep.
So, foreshadowing, is Ollie Behrman on P1? Has he won the race? Has Ollie Behrman won the race?
Absolutely.
No. And you've gone bold here, and I love it and respect it. And if that happens, fair play to you. Fair play to you.
I mean, yeah, it's just...
Wow. Okay, yeah. Fair enough.
Esty Bestie in P7.
Moving on to
P6. We get into the business end.
My P6 is George Russell.
Okay.
George Russell's in P6. Oh, I think I know where what Kieran's going to say next. George Russell, not as the same as Lawson. Nothing against George Russell. I think the Mercedes will be the third best car this season, especially at the start. I think they will beat out the Red Bull. And I think there's going to be a tussle happening between Russell and his best friend Max. I think on field,
on track or off track.
Probably both. No, so on track, I think it's not going to be intentional because I think Russell has said he's like
he just turned into me.
But I think there's going to be I don't want to say a rash dive bomb, but I think there's going to be a dive bomb that might impact slightly.
I think
there might be a little bit of tire banging, a little bit of heebie-jeebie there.
Wheels out, but wheels a bit too far out.
Maybe from the rival they have. Perhaps not. Perhaps they're putting a sort of a clean slate. But I think in the back of their heads, I think there'll be something there. Absolutely. That is why I've got George Russell P6.
I've also got Russell P6. George Russell P6. I exactly agree with you when you said Merc was going to be the third fastest.
Okay,
I absolutely agree. But yes, it'll beat out the Red Bull, but they won't beat out Max.
Yeah. Okay.
Max has shown his pace in not even the fastest car.
Yeah.
So Russell P6, I just think the 5 drivers I've got ahead of him, they're just going to be, it's going to just be, it's unfortunate for Russell. I think the gap between Russell and the car ahead of him in 5th is going to be the biggest gap of the whole race. I think who I've got in P1 through 5 are just going to start and just off they pop. And Russell's going to be quite far behind that. But yeah, Russell P6.
P5 is now Kimi Antonelli for me.
Ooh.
Kimi Antonelli is P5. Originally I had him P4. And I was like, I generally see him being up there. Showing his pace, testing, and if he comes out the back in the first race to beat his teammate George Russell, that's going to give him the boost of confidence that he needs. He will beat his teammate, only by a position now, because I've changed 2 drivers around. Mainly because if you saw our drivers' predictions, if I predict this driver to be down in P5, it's a bit weird. So Kimi Antonelli at P5, as we said with Russell, Mercedes be third fastest car. I have a sneaky suspicion the pit stop. I don't know if Merc has changed sort of their pit stop. I don't want to say strategy, but pit stop, maybe crew haven't trained them up as much, because you saw last season they didn't have the world's quickest pit stops. I think that will continue this season, and I think it might be the pit stops that unfortunately knock Mercedes down a couple of positions.
Yep. My P5.
Yeah. Ooh.
The hometown hero.
Ooh.
Jack Doono.
Jack
Oscar Piastri P5 for me.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't really know how I can. Expand on this. It's just a gut feeling.
Yep.
That it's his home race, obviously, and I just feel like, I just don't know. I just feel like he's not gonna quite be at the standard for a podium.
Yeah.
But he's still going to be very, very solid. Yeah. So obviously that's why I haven't got him down in sort of 9, 10, but I haven't got him up at like 1, 3, like 1, 2, and 3. So I've got him just nicely in the middle of the points.
So Oscar Piastri P5. So you've gone for
Oscar Piastri P5.
Really? Yeah. So McLaren not going to be his car? Do you reckon they're going to perhaps?
I think.
Or.
I think coming into Australia, there's not going to be a quickest car.
Oh, okay. No,
I
see
think
what you mean.
I think Red Bull, McLaren, Ferrari, sort of the top 3 cars of the sort of back end of last season, are going to come in, and it's going to be all out.
All out.
The cars are going to be really equal. Okay. That this is going to just be based on the driver's raw pace.
Okay. So the top 3 or the top 4, we concluding Mercedes there? Or?
I think Mercedes is going to have a little step back, which is why I sort of got Russell 6, sorry. And we'll get to the other Merc driver a little bit later.
Ooh, okay, trust. Okay. P4 now? P4?
Yeah, have you got on P4?
My P4, and this is the driver I've changed positions with Kimi Antonelli, is Max Verstappen. I've got Max Verstappen in P4.
What?
Yes.
That's big.
Why? What I touched on with Russell. They're touching tip to tip.
Pause.
They're going wheel to wheel. I think there will be contact there.
Fair enough.
I'm actually quite interested in this rivalry.
This is going to be
Verstappen.
I know, this is going to be great.
It will not be Lewis Hamilton versus Max Verstappen in 2021, but I generally see. Well, this is. We'll get to what my gobsmacking prediction later.
Yep.
I think Max Verstappen and George Russell are going to make contact. And I think it will score both of the drivers' races up. Max Verstappen has much talent, but the 2 drivers above him, I think, will be working together. And I think that will be why he finishes P4 and misses out on the podium.
I think my P4 is arguably a bigger shout for what we said earlier.
Okay.
My P4, Lando Norris.
Oh, so Lando is
realistically, Lando Norris cannot hold pole position. He's gonna the gap between the start of the race and turn 1 in Australia is pretty big. He's gonna get overtook from the start.
He's not even making turn 1.
No, he's not even gonna make in turn 1 leading.
Oh dear. Oh goodness, that's bad.
The driver that beats him also isn't going to hold the lead. It's going to be really crazy, this race, I think.
Ooh.
The front is going to be mental because of how even the cars are going to be. But I think McLaren, their pit stop, obviously they hold the world record for pit stops.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be not out of practice because they would have practiced pit stops.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. I just have a sneaky suspicion that it's also part of the reason Piastri's down this far.
Yeah.
Now that I mentioned both McLaren drivers, I'm going to mention this.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to have fast pit stops for either drivers. Everybody knows that Max is aggressive, and they've all saw how aggressive Max gets when he's not in the fastest car.
Yes. Yeah.
So I don't think anybody is going to want to match that aggression to risk them losing out.
Ooh.
Especially Lando, who's going to be obviously.
Okay.
He said in Abu Dhabi that 2025 is going to be his year.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna, for once, play it smart.
Okay.
And maybe try and hang back a little bit from the aggression, try and play it a bit smart. But I don't think that's gonna work out for this first race.
Right. Oh. Okay.
So I've got Lando Norris down in P4.
Okay. Moving on to the podium positions.
P3.
This is big. My P3 is Lewis Hamilton in the Ferrari. First race of the season. He's getting the podium. I think everyone would go crazy for that. Yes, it's not the race win.
If he can just finish the race, people are going to go crazy.
I genuinely see podium for the lad. Genuinely,
Yeah.
You can't even call him a lad. He's 4-year-old for the veteran. I don't think he'll have the same pace as his teammate Charles Leclerc just yet. As I said, predictions, I think he'll be further behind. And it's sort of not catch up, if you say, merging himself in the team, getting the confidence,
Yes.
and then go chase after Leclerc.
Yep.
I think, as I said with the Max Verstappen, him and Leclerc will be supporting each other, and I think with the teamwork, they will put both drivers ahead of Max Verstappen. I think this will be a Ferrari masterclass, this race.
Yes. I've also got Hamilton P3.
Yep.
Literally for the exact things you said, especially Ferrari masterclass.
Yep.
They are gonna just come out here and be like, we are here to compete, to win the championship, both championships. We're going to do the double this year. Yeah. I think everyone would love it to see Hamilton stand on that podium with in red.
My P2 is the other Ferrari driver of Charles Leclerc in P2.
Wait, hold on. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he's clocked on what I.
Yep.
So
you know what, first?
Charles Leclerc. So Charles Leclerc will be P2. I think he will just have better pace than Hamilton. Mainly because obviously he's had experience in the team. And I think both the Hamilton and Leclerc will be on different strategies, spawning each other. And I think Leclerc might just be on the better strategy. I think, as I said, Ferrari will have a masterclass. I think Leclerc will have a very solid race, but I don't think he will get the win.
Okay.
First race of the season.
My P2.
Yeah.
Is Verstappen.
Okay.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
That there's going to be some wheel bashing between him and Russell.
Yeah.
But not that type of bashing.
Sorry.
I think he'll recover it well.
Yeah.
Like how in sort of Mexico he had 20-second time penalty and still recovered it to a decent position.
Correct.
I think he will recover it well. I think he will just scrape past the 7-time world champion within like the penultimate lap or something. It'll be really unfortunate, and I would want to like shoot the guy. But
wouldn't be happy.
Yeah, I think there's one person that is gonna outpace him.
Yeah.
And I think the driver that wins for me is actually going to dominate. I think Ferrari is going to be. I know I said the top three are going to be very basically equal. I think Ferrari is going to be the best from that top three.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be like. Obviously, when I say dominated, people are going to think, oh, he's going to win by like 20 seconds. I don't. But I think he's going to be still very comfortably first.
So there's gonna be like a.
Verstappen fight with Russell. Will bring it back, get past Lewis, and get P2. And I think personally, Verstappen will have probably the best drive of the race just because of recovering that battle.
Yeah.
So yeah, Verstappen P2.
Are you ready for my P1?
Is it
of
Jack Doohan?
Close.
Nikita
it's
Mazepin.
Actually, Isaac Hadjar in P1.
Yeah.
I genuinely think as Isaac Hadjar is going to have a solid race. I think he's going to 30-second plus margin to second place. He's going to have a fantastic race. Well done, Isaac. P1 for Isaac. No, I'm joking. So my P1 is a guy from Australia.
Oh,
it is Oscar Piastri.
Have you actually got Piastri winning this?
Oscar Piastri is winning.
Am I dumb or have you just not mentioned Lando?
We'll get to that later, fella. Oscar Piastri is P1.
I actually respect that. I respect that.
Homeboy is winning his home Grand Prix.
Homeboy hero.
I am confident that McLaren is the number one car. Number one driver, he's sat in the garage because something's happened to him. We'll get to that for the prediction. So I'm slightly disagreeing with Kieran here because he thinks it's going to be a sort of an open battle for P1 between the top three teams and it's going to be close. I think that there's a solid 1, there's a solid 2, and you could argue there's Red Bull or McLaren could be P3. But no, Piastri, well done, fella. You are a winner in 2025 at your home Grand Prix.
That's very impressive. Well done. Mine is Charles Leclerc. I don't want to glaze this guy too much, but I just think he's gonna get the win. I don't know. I just have that feeling that he's gonna win. Obviously, I know there's a lot of sort of pressure, not just for him being teammates with Hamilton, but just pressure for Ferrari as a whole. I think.
Yeah, of course.
But that's how legends are made.
Yeah.
I think in like say 20 years' time, we're gonna look back and Leclerc is gonna be up there as not quite one of the greats. Obviously, I don't think he'll be a Schumacher or Hamilton.
Yeah.
But you could argue he's up there with like a Vettel.
Yeah.
I think he will be a great of the sport.
Yeah, most certainly.
I think he's gonna win Australia.
Yep.
Yep. Just yeah.
So, that being our top 10, we go to the
first ever
Gearbox gobsmacking prediction. And because you named it, do you want to say the first ever prediction? Do you want to go? I will give you the honours of saying the first ever Gearbox gobsmacking prediction.
For the first ever Gearbox gobsmacking prediction is Kimi Antonelli.
Yeah.
Will DNF. It's not going to be his fault though.
Okay.
He's going to be. I would have had him in this top 10.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would have argued was ahead of Russell.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think it was Russell's fault either. I genuinely just think mechanical failure. I think. Obviously, I know the team like Kimi. He's been very much welcomed into the Mercedes family, but they're gonna want Russell to win, and I think obviously they kind of want they're sort of pushing Russell a bit further. He's now took the mantle of first driver. I think he's just gonna sort of lose his car a little bit, and he's gonna start slowing down. And I unfortunately think his car will break down. But yeah, that's my gobsmacking prediction, is that Antonelli, arguably the most hyped rookie.
Yep, definitely.
DNF's in his first race, and that would be very sad to see. I hope some of these don't happen.
Yeah.
Like I know it's a prediction which then obviously would get points for in our little competition.
Yeah.
But I don't want this to happen.
Yeah, bless him. My Gearbox gobsmacking prediction is that Lando and Oscar will make contact during the race. This will then impact one or both drivers. From that, you can sort of tell where I'm going with this.
Lando DNF?
Lando Norris was my pole position. They're going to collide in the middle.
Like early doors?
Early doors. Early doors. This is where it gets spicy. Both have damage. Lando more than Oscar.
Right.
It's not a one fully crashes out.
Right.
I think both will get damage. But from that, I think Piastri is going to have the best race pace. He's going to climb up the order. He'll just have a mechanical failure. I think that from the damage with Oscar Piastri, he will unfortunately have a mechanical failure.
Fair enough.
So I'm sorry, Lando fans.
That's our that is our predictions, guys. That is our top 10 predictions. Our pole sitters and our gearbox gobsmacking predictions.
Hope you enjoyed the video. I will let Kieran sign you off on this.
So
today.
that is our first prediction episode done. As always, I have been Kieran. He has been JJ.
I think so.
You think? Right. Thank you, and it's goodbye.
Goodbye. Box.
Box.